Sure did. Hey guys, welcome to Somewhere in the Middle. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Angie.
Today we're going to be just looking at starting over. Um, Again, this show is about being in the middle of life, in the middle of everything where it comes to, where life is concerned. And a lot of times that comes with starting over. Um, Personally, I have started over more times than I can actually put a number to. In 2013, I left a 13-year career in teaching and told myself I would do anything under the sun other than teach ever again. And so that was a major point of starting over. And from there, it was just a spiral of 6 years of literally starting over and over and over and over. Um, and so it's not always comfortable, but I think in every life at some point it does become necessary.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I can't say that I've started over that many times. The most significant time that I think I started over, you know what? Let's backtrack for a second. What part of starting over are we talking about? I mean, I think we start over in relationships, we start over in careers, we start over in our fitness journey, losing weight, eating healthy. I've started my fitness journey over 86,252 times. Every day, it's a new day. Um,
Right.
but I've had the same career for 20 years. It hasn't been 20 years. How many years has it been? It's been a lot of years. But I remember the significant time that I started over, and that was in 2012. Oh my God, it was a year before you.
Hmm. When I met you, you weren't in the industry you're in now. You were selling some anime or something. Something crazy.
Girl, I sure was. We were. I forgot about that.
You was selling some Asian porn or something, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was hentai, whatever what it was called. Sure was. I used to take those DVDs and pass them out to friends. But anywho, well, I've been with my current organization for 13, going on 14 years, and then I was with the previous organization for 2 years. So yes, how
And
long
you
have
came to work with me at one point at the
I did.
school. Remember?
I did. I had signed a non-compete agreement. Hey, never sign a non-compete agreement, okay? Um,
Okay.
and I had to take a year off because I couldn't go work for my new company after leaving my old company. That's when I came to work for you,
With me,
with
not
you.
for me.
Yeah, no, I was kind of working for you a little bit.
That was fun.
Those were good times. Those were good times.
Anywho, but yeah, I mean, it's starting over in all those aspects. I mean, sometimes obviously starting a new job or a new career can be frustrating. Obviously, leaving a marriage can be, either freeing or devastating. Um, some people are starting over after the loss of a family member or loss of a child. And so the question is, why is starting over so difficult?
It's difficult because it's unknown. I mean, you don't know what's on the other side of that coin, and it's the fear of what's next, what's going to happen, what happens if I fail. And a lot of times people don't look at what happens if you succeed. It's always about the worst case scenario instead of best case scenario.
Absolutely. It's that unknown. Everything I know, me personally, I started designing my life when as a young child. And I always knew what I would do. And I knew what my first career was gonna be. I knew what my second career was gonna be. And I just always designed my life for maximum security and maximum peace. And so for me, the unknown was very uncomfortable.
Mhm.
But once I got used to it, now I'm not gonna lie, once I got used to it, the feeling of there's something else coming, but I'm not sure what it is, it did become a little bit more exciting for me. I know the last time that I really just stopped what I was doing, I worked for Verizon for 3 years and I just quit. And it was an amazing company, an amazing job with wonderful benefits and amazing people and great leadership. And I left that for the insecurity of driving trucks of all things. And I just remember that time being so up in the air, going back to school, trying to learn how to drive trucks and doing all this studying and then being away from my kids and not having a stable income and just all of that, I would literally be in the middle of a snowstorm in an 18 wheeler, by myself,
Mm.
parking in parking lots, and just the most insecure life that you can really imagine as a mom and as a woman. But it was such a thrilling, exhilarating feeling. If that makes sense, it was of not knowing necessarily where I was going to be sleeping, what state I was going to be having to go through, what when I got to the shipper, would I be able to back up the trailer, things like that. And so starting over can, I think, be life changing and life affirming as well. So, what are some of the positive things that you think have come out of starting over for you?
Well, for me, I've always had the luxury of working for an amazing organization that's always been super supportive of my career goals and ambitions. So, um, when people on the outside looking in and they see, oh, Angela used to live in Alaska and then she moved to Massachusetts and then she was working in Mississippi and Florida, and they see all these things, but I didn't do it by myself. And I think people take for granted having that support system. So yeah, it was scary buying a one-way ticket to Alaska, moving 6,000 miles away from home, not knowing a soul. But I had the support of um, my organization. So I wasn't by myself. And a common trend of when you work for a company is everybody has this unspoken, knowledge of you. It's like, oh, you work for us? Oh, well, come on in, have a seat at the table. I didn't have to fight for a place in all of the places that I've been. So I've been fortunate that, as I've been trying to discover myself and, moving all across the world, that I had the support of that organization. So it wasn't as scary. It wasn't like what you were, explaining, the thrill of not knowing where you're going to be, or, how you going to back it up. I didn't have that, but also I had to build friendships and connections, and find a social life, find the closest bar. Lord Jesus, that's the one place I'm missing now, is a bar. But beside the point. And missing that social part of it. But I had to build all of that from scratch. And it takes ingenuity, it takes strength. I found strength that I didn't even know I had to become who Angela was in all these different spaces.
Absolutely. And you hit on a great point, which if you don't take anything else from this video, I definitely want you to take this. Where I was insecure, the support I had at home was always there. And so I was blessed to have a blood family, like an actual mama and sisters, and my even my ex-husband and his girlfriend and his family and even her family, as support at home, where things were never going to be destitute. um that was a blessing that I had, where I never was alone. I never, if I said, I need something, I have a sister, an amazing sister. I mean, I don't have to get it all the way out of my mouth before, my needs are being met. And so where that's concerned, I was blessed and lucky. But one thing I want you to take away from the video is, even if you don't have that, find it. Find it somewhere. Because if you're finding yourself starting over and you're feeling depressed and you're feeling lonely, there's somebody out there. I don't care if you have to join the church. I don't care if you have to go on meetups. I don't care if you have to, just find a Facebook group. Find some support, because this can literally make the difference between you seeing, your cup being half empty and you want to throw that cup against the wall. Honestly. So support is the biggest thing that you can have when it comes to starting over in any way. I remember when I was first separated, and at that point, most of my support, or most of my close friends and family, or the people who I used to hang out with when I got married, I didn't hang out with them anymore. And so it was like starting over with, just needing friends. And so for one thing, I just had to reach out to old people and just say, hey, I'm going through this now. And so just check on your girl every now and again. You know what I'm saying? And so try to find, even people, even if it's your Facebook friends that you haven't seen personally in a long time, reach out to them. You never know where you're going to find that lifeline that you might need.
So true. I think I remember you sending me a message saying, look, I'm single. Invite me to the parties. Like, don't not invite me. You were like, hey, I'm back on the roll call. Put me on speed dial.
Exactly. I think a lot of times when we don't see the end of our struggle, or we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, it can be very, depressing. But just know that that strength is coming, because
Right.
you will make it out. Assuming you don't give up, you will make it to the other side. And when you look back, there's nothing that can prepare you for that strength
Right.
that you will find in yourself. When you look back and say, "Dang, this I did that. I went through that. I'm better for it." But just hold on. You just got to keep moving forward.
I agree. I say that every day. As long as I wake up every day, there's a new opportunity. I'm currently in a situation where, I live in Boston, Massachusetts, and COVID hit and it changed the game. All these career goals and ambitions that I had, I knew what my next step was going to be and I was ready. And all of a sudden that rug was pulled up from under me. And I had to, regroup, and I'm back on the drawing board, and I still don't know what's next. But I'm not afraid, because I know I have a great support system, and then B, it doesn't really matter as long as I'm alive and I have breath. Girl, I'm gonna figure it out. I have my contingency plan. I'm move back to Texas. I might come stay with you while I look for a place to stay.
Baby, look, the world ain't ready for us to be back together, honey.
Jesus, well, you ain't got no kids. They big people now. They not little babies. Oh, well, we got goodies. We got
I'm about to say my baby just 6, so
yeah, big. That's a big boy. Babies that require attention all the time. They need their diapers changed, and
yeah,
they needy.
yeah, but yeah, girl, you come right on. We put the guest room together for you. All I'm
Absolutely.
saying is I do have a job where I must be responsible for.
I'm gonna start an OnlyFans page. The link will be down below.
Hey, look, I told, what's the name? All we gotta do is get us some of them luchadores masks from the Mexican wrestler masks, baby. We can get it popping, honey. Just let me know.
Right.
Look, I can show an elbow. You know how
Not elbow.
somebody like elbows.
Right. They might cash out me to put my clothes back on. Nah,
You too. You too.
no,
Baby.
but there's nothing wrong, with starting over. I look at it as an adventure of what's next, man. Like, I'm not afraid. I'm literally in a position where I do not know what's next, and I'm not afraid, because as long as it don't kill me, we can figure it out.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. Starting over is inevitable. Okay. Like you discussed the weight loss journey. Uh, we've all, been there. It starts and it stops and it starts and it stops. I know for years I said I wasn't even gonna try, because I felt like whatever I tried, what I wasn't gonna stick to.
Right.
So for years I wouldn't even start exercising or anything, because I just knew whatever I do, I ain't gonna stick to it.
Mhm.
And now, here we are, 20 something, 30 something pounds down, depending on the day. Um, Look, I still ain't started exercising, but at least, at least we got to start somewhere.
Right.
But give yourself a break. You have to be kind to yourself, because the world is gonna come at you sometimes, and sometimes
And
not gonna be friendly.
mhm.
But you have to be kind to yourself. Let yourself fail. Let yourself feel. If you got to cry, cry. If you got to, you know, stay in the tub for 2 hours, I highly recommend it. I do it every day. Um, but do that. Do whatever you have to do, to take care of you, maintain your mental strength, because that's really all it takes. That's really all it takes to
Right.
start over, and then be able to look back and pat yourself on the back.
Right. Absolutely. My safe space is in my car. Do you ever sit outside in
Mm.
your car? I go to work 45 minutes early to sit outside in my car and, meditate, listen to some trap music, get my gangsta on so I can go in here and handle my business. But that's my space, alone in the comfort of my car, playing whatever music I want, drinking my coffee or what have you, and decompressing and preparing myself for what's next. Even when I pull up, I live by myself and I still sit outside in my car for 20, 30 minutes before I get out the car. It's the space that brings me peace.
This might be a word, honey, because I know I definitely will sit in my car sometimes. Matter of fact, I've come home from work sitting in the garage and then fell asleep out there. Then fell asleep out there a couple of times. It's so bad. My child called me sometimes. Are you here in the garage? He's like, no, I'm still at work.
Okay, can you
But
not stay in the garage with your car running?
I mean, the garage is still up. I haven't put the
Oh, okay.
garage
I'm just
down.
saying. We don't want no
Nah,
accident.
I ain't trying to check out of this piece, not voluntarily. No, but yeah, sitting in the car definitely when I come home in the evenings, it's a good way to leave everything else behind.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm coming home and 9 times out of 10 going to get in my bed anyway, but it's probably not what I should do. But anyway.
But I fix an adult beverage first before I convene to the bedroom. You know
Look,
you
I
want
have
to.
time. I don't even want to drink. I just want to have it over with.
This not water, y'all. So,
Yes, it is. Because otherwise, you're certainly destroying your liver at this point.
no, I had a liver test. It's healthy. I mix my liquor with water. That's the secret. You hydrate.
Okay.
Girl, that's a secret.
Okay. Very good. Anywho, guys, I think that's it for today. If you have any questions or comments on starting over, definitely let us know in the comments. We will definitely see you guys next time. Thanks.